Hi, friends. Welcome to episode 22 of Let's Elden Ring. Um, Tonight we're going to explore a couple of catacombs to fill out our ball bearing roster and then hopefully make our way to the Fire Giant and Crucible for probably the biggest skill check we've had so far. Hopefully we'll be up to it. Um, if I get there, I may die a few times. It's a tough fight, even with the right gear, and even if you know what you're doing. It can be rough, but uh, we'll get there, folks, I promise. So what are we looking at here? Just on background. These aren't the only characters I've played Elden Ring with, but they're the only ones I've kind of gone the distance with. This was my first playthrough. Pretty over leveled. That was my strength and faith build. This was my occult kind of dragon incantation character. This was the dry run for this playthrough, and here we are clocking in only 34 hours with Biting Cat. Knowing where to go really cuts down on that playtime. Haven't died a lot either. This playthrough is meant to be kind of an example or guide for people who maybe are new to From Software games or the Soulsborne series of games. Maybe you find those games kind of intimidating. Maybe you've heard about the new DLC, Shadow of the Erd Tree. There's been a lot of hype for that, and you're wondering, can I get in on this excitement? Well, yeah, you can. This character, again, is supposed to be sort of a comfortable way for beginners to get through the game. So my hope is you can use this as an example for playing the game without getting too annoyed, but still having a fun time doing a lot of exploration and such. Let's look at where we're at with the character before we get going. As you can see, we've leaned pretty heavy into vigor. Intelligence is our main damage stat, but we haven't really neglected vigor, endurance, or mind the way a lot of beginners will kind of make a glass cannon intelligence character and just hope they can kill everything at range, but that doesn't really work for everything. So this is a much more resilient character. We've got some pretty rugged armor on that can soak a lot of hits. We've got a shield that, while it isn't a great shield, does have a high, it's called a guard boost stat, which means it'll take somebody a while before they break our stance if we're blocking. This is all designed with an idea of durability and survivability comes first. Okay. We are about to start using what are called rune arcs. We actually, I think, have one active right now. Let's see. It says our intelligence is 73. And our intelligence is actually 63. So yes, we have the talisman and we have the rune arc active. We want to go ahead and just start buying them. There aren't many places that sell them, but the ones that do, we might as well snatch them up. These vendors have them, so we'll buy them here. There's 5. They're expensive, but that's okay. Well worth it. Next thing we're going to do, there's a couple of things I want to buy over here from the Hermit Merchant. We need to pop some runes to buy all of his if we haven't bought them already. Yeah, so he's got 3 that we can get for 12,000. But I also want to buy this Sentry's Torch for 7,000, and we could come back later, but I don't want to. Let's just go ahead and get it out of the way now. It's just 4,000 runes. How much is a 6? So I'll just pop one more of those.
Something else?
We'll need that eventually. Okay, cool. What we're going to do now is collect the ball bearings that allow us to buy grave gloveworts. There's 2 we can get right now, so let's just go ahead and take care of that. The first is in the Atlas Plateau, actually by the Wyndham Ruins where we've been. I think we were either there last episode or the one before. Just run up the hill. This stuff technically isn't necessary, but the idea for me is if we're going to use this character for either New Game Plus or Shadow of the Erdtree, we need to be able to buy whatever upgrade materials we want. Like let's just take care of everything that we might want to progress or invest in gear, so we can hit the ground running when the DLC gets here. So picking up things like these ball bearings, that's just that's part of that process. If I remember right, both of these catacombs will be the imps and not skeletons, so we don't have to worry about any of those. There's a trap right there. This one isn't bad. The other catacombs is very tedious, and it has kind of some it's kind of mean-spirited actually. It does things to kind of deliberately waste your time or your runes or your life. Let's bring that back down, since we're gonna have to go back. Both of them have these terrible know that since this is water, that lightning does extra damage. We're a bit over leveled though for this, so especially now that we have a rune arc on, we should really just kind of blow these things away. See, there's one, but as experience has taught us, there's one there. Tried that kind of roundabout just in case there was one waiting on the other side, right? Now this is kind of an unpleasant surprise here. There's a Golden Order Knight around this corner that does lightning damage. See him down there? I'm gonna re-up this. So if you let him get close to you and start doing his thing, he's gonna hurt you really bad. There it goes. Oh, this is not working. Despite our high poise, we're not wow, what a ride that was, guys. I'm not doing a very good job of showing you a comfortable playthrough, am I? I'm just killing all these because I can. One, B, because I wanted to get that glovewort. We got his greatsword, which, you know, whatever. Anyway, thank goodness for vigor, right? Let's go ahead and top everything off. There's another trap. This is a lightning-based talisman, so if you're not doing lightning damage, there's no point. This is one of these spiky ceilings, so I'm going to take this one out, and then we're going to run. This one's a little tricky. There's another one of those guys there. But there's this guy over here. Oh good, we might be able to backstab him. Yeah, there we go. You know, time the charged attack. That'll be that. Okay, good. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to run across. And we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. I'm actually going to kill some of these. We don't need the magic. We have plenty. Let's just clear this place out. There's a trap. You see that? And the reason I'm doing this all right. Magic grease. There's a cookbook. And we've been here before. There's another trap. And I can't remember what this boss is, to tell you the truth. I hate those things. And because of our flask, there's no reason not to try to kill this boss, regardless of our flask situation. But the place is right. It's right here. So, plus let's double check it. Twig, magic attacks. Okay, yeah, that's it. Oh, this must be, yeah. I hate these watchdogs. They're everywhere. It's ridiculous. Okay, let's pop that. I just hate those. But there's our first glovewort bearing. So that lets you buy grave gloveworts 1 through 3 at the vendor at Round Table Hold. Now we'll go to the next one, which is more annoying. And we were just here. I said we'd come back soon. And here we are back. There's a lot of this we aren't going to do, and that's because, again, it's mostly a troll. A lot of what's here is not valuable, but it is very dangerous. And the whole idea is that you're going to go somewhere that looks like the right way, but it's the wrong way. And they do a good job of making it look like the right way. You know, it really does seem like somewhere you'd go. It's pretty devious. And that's not even the only trick going on here. But I'll explain all that as we get to it. Main thing is, don't worry. I'm not going to let that happen to us. So we come down here. So this is trick number 1. You can go down here, and it's very elaborate. There is a lot to do down there. There's some field bosses. I mean, it really, really, really seems important. But you're only going to find grave gloveworts that you either can buy now, will be able to buy at the end of this, or will be able to buy soon. And that, if you're following this playthrough, you don't even want. So we're not going down there. We're going to do the main critical path for completing this. Note these guys. Fortunately, there's a limited range on their pot throwing, so you know, we can kind of just hang back. Charge shot. Oh, I just drank a health flask. Charge shot should do the trick. Now we'll just go down again. There's some pots here. There's going to be a big pot that shows up. There he is. Now take note of some things. For one thing, the statue's facing the way out, okay? We'll want to remember that. The other thing to note is that the switch is up there. You know, the switch that opens the way to the boss. So we want to find our way up there. There's a trap here. Look at this mess. There's 2 of these. Those sparking pots will blow up. They'll charge you to blow up. It's kind of hard to know what to do here. If you're lucky, you can do that. It might take a few tries, but that's the best possible outcome. If they start charging you, well, it'd be only natural to panic, wouldn't it? And you know, they want to chase you into the little blade thing, so you kind of have to resist the urge to just sprint away. You know, just hope everything works out. Then you have this room. You know, what are these things even doing here? The poison builds up quite quickly, so you're either going to be doing this or actual sorcery casting. Alright. There's a trap on the floor. I'm sure you all see that. And here's this guy. You don't have to do it that way, but it just feels good, you know. Ritual pot. Grave 7. So this is where things get interesting. It's easy to miss this little thing you jump in, and nobody's got a thing on the floor right now, so let's just write one real quick. Try down. Now when we drop in here, it's kind of misleading. It looks like we might be looking down into the same area. And if we run back up, there's a trap on the floor again, remember that? And then here's this again. Only wait a minute, they're sparking things on the floor again. This is the same layout. If you do this and then go up again, there's more poison spewing enemies on the ground. And then you can drop in, you can keep, and it puts you on a loop. You can just keep going up and dropping in the hole again and again. The trick is actually to just leave. And go up. And this all still looks the same. This looks like you're leaving. Just the way you came in. Oh, I'm wrong. This is another trick. Let's go back. That has a burial watchdog and like a glovewort 7 or something. So let's skip that. There we go. See this guy? We should just be able to do a jump attack on him and then probably follow up once. Yeah, there we go. We don't want to fall in there. Now we're back at last. We're at the switch. Now we are done with this very weird dungeon. And we just walk out. And again, yes, we could go explore that other stuff and we could get some things. And you're welcome to if you want. I mean, one of those watchdogs even has a stake of Marika, so you're not even really risking anything. You know, by all means, if you want to try it, try it. But that's not really what a comfortable playthrough is like, which is the goal here, you know. Alright. What is here? Oh, this is a whatchamacallit, a seed beast, ulcerated tree spirit. So let's pop this. Let's do this. Let's call our friend. Oh, I drank the wrong flask. I thought I was healing, but I drank FP. That's not gonna work. Well, that'll do it. Now we can't use that seed. We're maxed out. But that's a nice rune haul. You can probably, if we can't level up with that, we can certainly come close. I can't remember where we're at with runes and level requirements. Oh yeah, okay, cool. So there's no need to hang out here. Let's take another look. We did all that. We need to do the tree. We need to do these ruins. So I think this is a good spot for us to start. Let's level up. Okay, 443. Oh, it's night. Let's wait till morning. There's also, yeah, there's a decent amount of stuff to do here. These enemies are so obnoxious. Now it says we can summon, but that's a trick. It's part of a puzzle. So in reality, these bats are the only enemies here. So It's a pretty good puzzle, actually. We actually summon her sister.
Dear sister, you find me here. No time to waste. Let's see the stars.
Fancy spin. That's a quality emote right there. This talisman is sorcery related. I don't use it personally. But with the magic build, you know, it's good to have all this stuff. Primal Glintstone Blade. What does it do? Less FP, but HP is reduced. Not a good deal to me. There's a lot of stuff related to kind of pushing you toward glass cannon status that I don't know, you know, do what you want, play it your way, but to me that kind of thing's hardly ever worth it. We're looking for a bridge, because next up is a Erd Tree fight. Somber 9. Now that's, you know, those are hard to come by right now. So we could upgrade another weapon all the way if we wanted. You don't have to mess with these guys, but I do. I don't want him interfering. You know, I just don't want him chasing me into my boss fight, basically. And I think they're around to the right. We'll see. We can't summon yet, so there we go. So let's go ahead and get this going. Oh, there it is. Now this one's a little weird. If you give it a chance, it'll summon like a double. They share health, so it's not like there are actually two of them. Ooh. There it goes. Not a huge deal to us. Enough to level up again, basically, which is cool. I think, I can't remember what's over here. This is probably the sorcery tower that we're not going to. It has a sorcery in it that I don't consider very good, but it is a legendary. So if you're going for the platinum, you'll have to deal with that, which is a shame. I think it's kind of obnoxious. It's like what we had to do with the path to the Hallowed Tree. You have an invisible floor. I think that gimmick is bad enough to only do once. I wouldn't do it twice in a game. Anyway, it's time to summon our friend. This is going to be a ice dragon. I mean, you can beat them with a sword, just doing stagger damage. But, I mean, obviously they're resistant to our cold, so it's not super productive. It's good to be on the horse a lot to get around its breath attacks. Let's try to get behind it. I'm going to drink our physic as soon as it shows up. There it is. It's locked on even though we can't see it. There we go. And, you know, I'm not going to be too ambitious. I'm just going to try to just keep chipping away. There goes the ice breath. Oh shit. How'd that happen? Killed our horse. Well, that's fine. Made the jellyfish hostile. Just too bad. I don't like killing them. Now that's a decent number of runes, isn't it? So let's not pass go. Let's go over and heal up and level up. So this will be our last round of these before we start focusing on intelligence only. And I'll be honest, you know, a shortcoming of this build is that it would be good to have more mind. You know, we run out of FP a lot. But the flip side of that is so many enemies we're still fighting with the sword where we don't use any FP. So it's like, how do you decide what works and what doesn't work there? You know, like we could use more FP, but then there are stretches where we don't use any. I mean, the reality is we're almost at 80, which is the, well, I mean, we're at 74. The soft cap is 80 for intelligence, and we have the best scaling staff for high-level intelligence in the game, and we're still having to do charge shots on a lot of enemies with Comet. So, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, really at the beginning of the game, the glintstone stuff just destroys so many things that you know, you have to accept that it's not going to be like that as you get further in. You know, you're going to have to be more resilient. Things are just going to take longer. There's our somber ball bearing 3. That's our second to last sacred tier. One more and our flasks will be fully upgraded, both in terms of strength and in terms of number. So, you know, and that one's not far away at all. We'll get that tonight. Let's see what Melina has to say.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you? In Marika's own words, hark, brave warriors. Hark, my Lord Godfrey. We commend your deeds. Guidance hath delivered ye through each ordeal to the place ye stand. Put the giants to the sword and confine the flame atop the mount. Let a new epoch begin, an epoch glistening with life. Brandish the Elden Ring for the age of the Erd Tree.
And there's more.
There, the flame of ruin lies just ahead. I'm glad it was you I traveled with. I must tender my thanks to Torrent, too. Thank you, Torrent. Please continue to lend your aid till the end.
Okay. We're making our way to the fire giant, which is probably the most serious undertaking we've had so far, combat-wise. It's very likely that I'll die, maybe more than once. This is just it's a skill check. It's kind of the big gate. But you know, we've done everything we can to prepare for this fight, and we have everything we need to succeed. We've got high damage output, we've got decent health, we've got decent recovery materials, you know. Finally got bit by a dog. There it is. I'll say there's a let's rest here to put the dogs to rest. If you go down here, you can see those balloons in the air. You can kill marionettes, and those balloons hold Newman rings. I think there are like 4 of them, maybe 3. I'm not sure. It's there if you want it. I'm wanting to leave myself time in the episode to fail if I need to with the fire giant. So, you know, I don't want to stop without making progress against that. So there's that Briar sorcery. We're almost able to summon our friend. There. Let's do that. And what I'm trying to do now is clear this whole place out. Kill everything. There's one of those big boys. Things can get out of hand with them pretty quickly. But it looks like we handled them in time. As in other cases, you know, the main thing is don't wait. You know, if you know something's going to take multiple hits, unload. You know, do it. Don't fire once, wait and see what happens, and fire again. You know, just do it. You don't want to give anything a chance to shoot at you or charge you or whatever. We're getting there. If I wouldn't have got his attention, I would have sent one of those big explosive cannon things at him and gotten them both. But no such luck. Okay. Not a lot left to do here. These flame guardians are nothing special, but I assume they can dodge. So I always hit them with the night comet, just to prevent that. There's not really anything interesting here. There's some rats. There's another one over there. You know. I think that's everything, you know. Get a butterfly, you know, nothing. It's kind of a rip-off. That's okay. We'll come up here. There's another one down here. You might be wondering, hey, what's the deal? Is that really it? The answer is no. That's not really it. There's a named guy over here that isn't like the other fire giant guardian, so he's the last dangerous thing we're going to deal with, so this is a good time to pop the flask. I don't know why our running buddy didn't help out with that, but it's okay. We got that weird shield, which we're not strong enough to use, but has the flame spit. You can shoot a fireball from it. It's just kind of cool, right? It must take a bit of a wind up because he never managed to get one off. Giant's prayer book. One of these, yeah, this one. There you go. All right. So that's it, I think, for this part of the world. Now, running across this chain is kind of unnerving. Seems like you might get stuck and fall off into the abyss, and maybe you would. It hasn't happened to me, though it has made me nervous in the past. Regardless, we are here. Now, this whole area is very hostile. I mean, there's a lot of stuff around here. Some of it very valuable. But it's just so dangerous. Like, I'm gonna pop this just to ride across town, essentially. We'll go into this building right here. Make sure we're on Night Comet, because we're gonna get invaded for the last time. You know, we always get invaded outside churches. It should be the last one. All these dogs and birds and giants or trolls, you really don't want to fight any of them. You know, it's not that you can't. You know, it's not that you can't. It's not that you can't win. But you'll be shocked at how little you have to show for it. You know, and it's just not. The payoff just isn't there. Okay, here we are. We're about to get invaded. And we're just gonna Night Comet this guy into oblivion. Just like that. For that, you get Rivers of Blood and the Mask. Rivers of Blood was very popular when the game released. It was considered overpowered in kind of player versus player stuff, and people would actually mock you, I think, for using it. You know, whatever. I think it's fine. It's one of the weapons my occult, arcane character has. That's our last upgrade to the flasks. Before we do this, because this is kind of a, I mean, it's not really, but there's one thing I want to do before we move any further, and that's wrap up with Nephelu. Remember her, Nephililu? Who low-key is probably the daughter of Godfrey, first Elden Lord, who was also a Tarnished, if you remember. We never gave her the hawk ashes.
Please, leave me be. It's pathetic, I know, but I need to think. So you know already, do you? Right. It's true. My father cast me out for indulging my emotions, forgetting the mission, punishment for offing his pawns. Mother, Lord Gideon has offered me guidance all my life. I would have done anything for him, to place him on the throne of Elden Lord. And yet though it was not my intent, I betrayed him. And I can no longer trust in Father. To think he'd order his men to enact such tragedy. Where is the justice he purports in that? He once told me that if he became Elden Lord, he would never allow the downtrodden to be cheated ever again. Was he simply lying to me? No. How could I say that? Father has always given me his guidance. And now, I've lost it.
So we'll give her the Stormhawk King.
Is that ash? I can smell the ancient storm in it. My thanks. I'll gladly take it. I'm not like Roderica. I don't feel the presence of spirits, let alone see them. Still, this ash, it reminds me of my first hawk. Thank you. In this ash, it reminds me of...
Okay, so we've done all of that. Meanwhile, speaking of royalty, right? Let's go see our old buddy, Kenneth Haight. We don't need help with this, but just for laughs. Man, the way the sword clips through that shield, or that, is so annoying. Alright, that's probably good enough.
I must begin my search for a true. I must begin for a true.
Okay. So he's looking, she's got the old sovereign of the castle. That's probably enough to go here. If I'm right, you don't actually want to go to the Godfrey site. You want to go here and run in. Why that is, I don't know. Let's see if this works. Nope. Dang it. Let's go try to talk to Nephili again. Some of these are a little finicky. There's a big payoff to this. There's a reason I'm doing this, and we won't be able to do this after we finish the fire giant stuff. So let's just handle this.
In this ash, it reminds me.
Okay. Well. Try this again. Who knows? Now he's gone. See? So let's go inside.
It's been some time. I must thank you for your aid. I told Father I would be with him no longer. I remembered the vow I took when I first became a warrior, so many moons ago. This land is much like the one from which I hail. I will call upon the storm to drive away the foulness that has settled on the winds. Again, I am Nefeli Lu, warrior. Some call me by the title of Lady, but I remain the same woman underneath, though I have now abandoned my former guidance. I cannot express how much you've helped me.
Ancient smithing stone.
Should you become, I would gladly lighten your burden.
So that's cool.
Safe from sound.
And we know he's just going to say things.
Is for the time at which time I raise him. I hope it is just.
Meanwhile, over here,
You, is it? Haven't seen, as you can see, Frida, this lady. Still, so I'll let you.
he has one too. So we're going to buy it. It's 20,000. But well, worth every penny. And that is the last thing I think I want to do before we embark on this. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, for now this is good. So let's go back to the church. Let's think about our build a little. It's very likely we're going to have to die and strip off some equipment, and that's fine. But for now, we'll go with this. If we had to, we could always just unequip the sword, because we're not going to use it. This is going to be a pure sorcery joint. Because I'm pretty sure this guy is resistant to ice. I know you can't put frostbite on him, so it's just a waste of time. Now that's the way to the fight. But there's a site of grace right down here. So let's activate that. You can see it over there. And again, there's other stuff to do here that we're just not doing. If you want to fight really aggressive enemies with infinite poise, they're all over the place. Let's make sure, for one thing, we're going to level up, so we're not going to use the twig for sure. I think we're going to try the HP with near death and boost magic. And we're going to use that late in the fight. If we die in the first half of the fight, we just die. We won't use the flask until it looks like we might have a chance of winning. How many runes do we need? 97, so like 27,000. This is tough. That's probably a good number. I don't know. We'll just see. We're not going to use any of these remembrance. They're all worth 30,000, I think, so. Okay. And if we lose them, we lose them. So some background. This giant is a giant. He's of towering size. He has massive reach. And we're going to be attacking his foot the whole time. Seriously, his foot. We're going to summon a friend. We're going to try to stay behind him. We're going to be on horseback the whole time. We're going to be using the comet spell, but we're never going to lock on. We're just going to get right up on the foot and act like we're attacking with melee. They're just going to get right up against it. And because, you know, if you're at the back of his foot, he can't hurt you unless he's doing a big explode thing. Anyway, if you're following along, you might want to watch a video about his movesets, his patterns and stuff. But maybe you'll pick up some stuff. I'm going to narrate what I'm doing, or try to. So there he is. Oh, I know something I need to do. You will definitely want a bunch of these. You will definitely want them somewhere where you can get to them. We're not going to be using the lamp, so I'm putting that. This is so you can, reminder, so you can heal the horse. Because you will need to heal the horse. A lot, probably. Because if the horse dies, you need a flask to bring him back, and that's a flask you can't spare. I'm staying on foot, because he does this, like, avalanche move, and if he does it, we'll need a shield. He almost always does it. Yeah, there it goes. Oh, he didn't do it. But that's okay. So we'll just get behind him. Notice one of these feet has a shackle on it, and one of them doesn't. Look out for this fire. This stuff will explode. Now you can bait it and get close to it. He's about to make the whole ground explode. A lot of this is just luck, unfortunately. You know, it depends on what he's going to do. Obviously, when he does that, there's not much you can do nearby. There's not much you can do there. You can kind of get caught in a bad loop where you can't get close to him because he starts doing that exploding ground thing, and you're stuck. And it's not that you can't overcome that kind of thing, but it is hard. A lot just really depends on what he does, you know. If he cooperates, you can just kind of get his health down really fast. And if he doesn't, good luck. Again, we're waiting for the avalanche thing. There it goes. See that? Oh no. That never happens. He never does that twice. I mean, he does, but I mean, having done this several times, it's just, it's usually just an opening move. So let's try that again. We're currently overweight. Not by much. Can't even wear the hat. Okay. Now we can roll. Now, in theory, you can like magically dismount the horse right when the snow's coming. It's also bad when he gets kind of on the environment like that. There, I panicked and jumped off the horse, which is not good. When he does that ground stuff, you just have to run. We're about to enter the second phase. If we can stay in the game long enough. There he goes. He's going to tear off his foot. We want to get behind him. He's going to do this big fire on the ground thing. But we can just keep launching. We're almost out of magic. And we got him. So yeah, you see, it might take you a few times, but just get behind him and stay behind him. And we beat him while still equipping our gold scarab, which means we got extra runes. That's fantastic. So as promised, we're hammering intelligence right now. And we're not going to go much further. We'll see this dramatic section, and then we'll make our way to the first site of grace. And that'll be a good stopping place for the night, I think. Again, you know, these chains are a little anxiety-inducing, but it's okay. Hopefully. See, I almost got snagged there. Yeah. That's good enough for me. Alright. Look at this crazy view. And we're basically atop the world, you know. This is the highest spot in the whole game. We're almost level. We're level with some of the Erd Tree's branches from way up here. And this is the Crucible. You can probably guess what happens now. That's the consecrated snowfield, which we've also visited, I think. Well, I'm not sure what it is. This fucking sky. This is so awesome. I mean, what a dramatic setting here, you know, just to ride through. And it's time to talk to Melina.
I have long observed the lands between. This world is in dire need of repair and death. Indiscriminate. Are you prepared to commit a cardinal sin?
What a question. Yeah, let's do it.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon you for but a moment. the sake of the new Lord. Thank you for guiding me here. The one who walks alongside flame shall one day meet the road of destined death. Goodbye.
Yeah. Now you done it. What a sight. Melina is such an intriguing character. I mean, her comments are enigmatic even for From Software standards. But what is this place, you know? We can't actually leave. We have to get to a site of grace before we can leave. See, all these travel points are grayed out. So until we get to a site of grace, and that's okay. It's not actually far, but this makes for a pretty dramatic introduction, doesn't it? These guys are pretty awful. Most of them take like one charge and one regular attack with Comet. So as always, we're not waiting to see what the first attack did, right? We're just double tapping it. I am gonna pop a rune. Why not? We may waste a few here. This is a very dangerous place, but sadly, now we're not getting, well, we still are, but we won't for long. We're about to reach the soft cap for intelligence while we're using these buffs. There's a guy over there, and there's this guy here. And we're gonna backstab this guy, which is gonna get his attention. They hit really hard. They do combos too, so sometimes blocking them doesn't really work out. So let's rest. And now we can leave if we want to. We've leveled up a few times. Let's see where our character is. We're holding 45, 25, 22, we're good. 67, we're going to 70. And probably at 70, we'll start putting points in vigor again. And we'll switch back and forth between vigor and intelligence. probably. I mean, at some point we're gonna have we might want to put mind up again. We're not gonna do it because that's a whole other bit of drama. But there is a dragon, a lightning dragon, we're gonna fight out there and hopefully defeat. And that'll be the first thing we do next time on Let's Elden Ring. If you're having trouble with the fire giant, what should you do? Well, it's a last resort, but you can always farm to get your intelligence higher. That way you could stop using the Stargazer heirloom, right? You could dump more points into vigor. You could put more points in. There's lots of things you could farm for. Endurance, right now, our endurance is nice. It's nice enough to wear armor with a talisman, but if you watch, we were running out of stamina repeatedly fighting the giant. It would be nice to be able to cast more spells without having to stop. There's a lot you could do. We looked at that farming place. There's a Graven School talisman that'll increase your sorcery damage by 8%. You could chase that down for sure. That would probably help out. What else? You could dump this and see if there's another talisman that might help you more. Certainly you could use the Flame Drake +2 to protect against fire. That would help you. You could try the Green Turtle out for recovering. There are definitely options for you if you're struggling. But I think, you can do it. The main thing is you just need to get the hang of staying behind him and attacking his foot without locking on, because you just can't lock on. Because it's too chaotic in the fight. You want to control your position. And it's also a luck thing, As I said before, there's certain attacks, if he just spams again and again, I don't know if anybody can succeed, If the AI gets kind of a wild hair and just repeatedly throws the avalanche at you, well, blocking takes all of your endurance. You can only block one. You could roll through it maybe, but how many can you really roll through? Without getting caught, or how many can you jump over with the horse before getting caught? You can't. Some of these things require so much precision that unless you are just a very high level player, you're not going to make it. Some of it's just too rough, and you need to give yourself permission to fail a few times, and don't sweat it too much. All right, it's all good. That guy will die. He will, and you've got everything you need to do it. I promise you. Okay, that's my little pep talk for the day. The other thing, I guess, if you don't have any luck with it, I'm going to be doing some other content on the game besides just this area. And you could go try some of that instead. Level up a bit, maybe get some more gear. You know what I mean? There are options. So, and you can always respec. Any case, I hope you'll come back tomorrow. Or if you're on YouTube, you'll check out the next video. We're going to do more of this crumbling Farum Azula area and hopefully push ourselves a bit closer to the end game. It's been quite a ride, and there's more to come, but the end is in sight. See you next time. Bye.